Hi, welcome to Yoga with Tracy. I'm Tracy. Today we have a Yin Yoga practice for the legs, working on our quads, inner and outer thighs and hamstrings. In Yin we hold passive postures for longer, and today this will be for around 2 minutes. Holding the poses for an extended time gives us the chance to focus on surrendering into each pose as we target the deep connected tissues of our bodies, helping to improve mobility and prevent injuries. Today's props: grab a couple of blocks or substitute with a couple of pillows, and also a strap or a belt, and when you're ready, meet me on the mat. Hi everyone. Let's begin today's practice facing the short edge of our mats. Begin by sitting on your heels, slowly folding forwards, bringing your chest to your thighs and your forehead to the mat or on a blanket. Your arms could be forwards or by your sides, whichever is more comfortable for you. This is a lovely, comforting, restful pose to begin the practice as we calm the mind and body. Drawing your awareness to your breath, start to deepen the breath, breathing into the back of the body. And on the exhale, letting everything soften and release. Feel your back body rising with every inhale and draw it in with every exhale. Lifting your head, lay down on your belly, feet about hip distance apart, and come onto your forearms. Turning your left forearm so it's parallel with the front of the mat. Bending your right knee, and with your right hand taking hold of your foot as you draw your heel in towards your glute. If you can't reach your foot, take the strap around the foot, and then lower your forehead so it's resting on your left hand. Your knee may try to widen out to the side, so try and keep your knee about hip width with the front of the leg on the mat. In Yin, we're working on the connective tissues rather than our muscles. Move slowly and take care. It doesn't matter how flexible you are. Yin can adapt to suit all body types. The key is to listen to your body and modify the poses where necessary. Move with awareness and enjoy the experience. Try to relax, no pushing or pulling. In Yin, we're working on finding our edge. This is when the sensation you're experiencing feels like a gentle tug. Really enjoy this quad stretch as you remain here for 1 more minute. Observe your breath. Long, smooth inhalations and long, smooth exhalations through the nose. Very slowly, releasing the foot back down to the floor. Repeating on the other side. With your right arm parallel to the front of the mat, drawing your left heel towards your glute. Mobility can change from side to side. So make any small adjustments. and then come into stillness. In Yin, breath is an important factor. We want long, slow inhalations and long, slow exhalations, which will bring oxygen to our muscles, organs and minds, and allow us to let go of any stress and tension as we remain in the moment. In this posture, we can restore knee flexion, which gives us the ability to bend the knees, and you should also be feeling a nice stretch along the quad. Yoga grows with time, so always work at a level that's right for you. Throughout today's practice, come into each pose to an appropriate depth. Resolve to remain still as we hold each pose for about 2 minutes. Listen to your body. If you feel any pain or pinching, back out of the posture. Very slowly releasing the leg, remaining on our bellies, coming up onto your forearms, elbows just ahead of your shoulders. Have the chin parallel with the floor. Notice how your back feels. If any of the sensations are too strong, you can move your elbows further forwards. In this gentle back bend, it stretches and opens the chest, lungs and shoulders, and also strengthens the spine whilst firming the buttocks. Bring your focus back to the breath and feel the flow as you breathe in and out. Lowering your chest and head to the floor and using your hands to push yourself up into tabletop position. Grab hold of your 2 blocks or 2 identical props and place them just in front of your hands. From all fours, slide your right knee forwards, by your right hand or behind the wrist. Sliding your back leg towards the back of the mat. Lean a bit to your right side and check how your front knee feels. If knee okay, flex the foot and move it forwards. If knee feels stressed, bring the foot closer in towards the hip. You can even sit on the foot. Center yourself so your weight is even. For the first option, you can rest your hands on blocks in front of you. This full swan is a deeper hip opener than sleeping swan, so this might be as far as you wish to go today. Otherwise, you can place your hands down onto the mat. Bringing your hands closer to your hips will increase the weight over the front hip. And for those that are more flexible, you may like to try clasping your hands behind your lower back. Don't rush into the posture, you may find resistance. Focus on your breath and breathe through it. Depending on your flexibility, this can be quite a vigorous way to open the hips. There will be compression in the lower back. You should feel a deep stretch on the quads and hip flexors. As more weight is being placed on the front hip than in sleeping swan, if you find the posture is too intense, you could modify by moving your hands further away from you. Bringing your focus back to the breath. Breathing in slowly and smoothly through the nose, allowing your chest and belly to expand as we fill our lungs with air. Then exhaling slowly and smoothly through the nose as your stomach comes back in and your rib cage contracts. Before we repeat full swan on the other side, we're going to counterpose with down dog. If you were using props, place both hands onto the mat. Use those hands to push the floor away and slowly come up, tucking the back toes under. And with a nice groan, pushing back up into downward facing dog. Keep the spine lengthened, the head relaxed, and begin to pedal out the feet. Really enjoying that all over body stretch. Pushing both heels back towards the mat for one more deep stretch. And then placing both knees back onto the mat so we can repeat full swan on the opposite side. Drawing your left knee forward by your left hand or behind the wrist. Keeping your weight even and coming into a modification that you're comfortable with. Don't become impatient, move slowly. Keep your focus on the breath, as it gives you something to focus on in the most difficult and uncomfortable postures, such as this. Releasing yourself out of the posture and coming back into the counter pose, downward facing dog. Pressing your hands into the mat, relaxing your head between your arms, and really enjoy that stretch of the back of the legs. You can pedal out the feet a few times, inhaling and exhaling deeply. Pushing both heels towards the mat, really feel that deep stretch in the back of the legs. Slowly lowering your knees to the floor and coming into kneeling. Taking your seat to one side and swinging your legs out in front. You want to turn so we're facing the long edge of the mat. From a sitting position, spread the legs apart until they go no further. If the legs are stiff, you can bend the knees. It's okay to have your feet flat on the floor. And grab a block. Place that in front of you. And can you rest your elbows on that with your hands resting on your forehead. Another variation. You can have your legs straight, keeping the block in front of you. And again, elbows resting on that and your forehead on your hands. Or for the deeper version, removing the prop and coming down onto your forearms. Really enjoy that great stretch to your hips, groin and back of thighs. Stay connected to your breath and try to relax, no pushing or forcing. Especially in this posture, you will feel gravity pulling you down. If at any time you do start to experience any pain, back out of the pose as sensation ceases. You may find after a while that your body opens more and you're able to move the body further into the pose. Make the adjustment and then find your stillness as you bring your focus back to your breath. Using your hands to push the floor away and slowly rolling up. Using your hands to draw your legs in. Bending the knees, feet flat on the floor, legs together, arms out behind you. Exhaling as you drop your knees to the right. Inhaling back to centre and exhaling over to the left. Repeating twice more on each side as we get some internal rotation and adduction, which should feel really nice after straddle. The next posture we're going to move into is called butterfly. Turn to face the short edge of your mat. Remain in a seated position, bringing the soles of the feet together and then sliding them away from you so your legs are making a diamond shape. Allow your back to round as you fold forward. Unless you have any lower back concerns, keep the back neutral, no flexion of the spine. First variation, elbows on your legs and forehead resting on your hands. Or folding further forwards, lightly resting your hands on your feet or on the floor in front of you with your head hanging down towards your heels. You should be feeling a nice stretch in the inner thighs. But if it feels like it's overstretching or your knees are complaining, you can support the thighs with some blocks or cushions. Feel gravity pulling you down. Let yourself settle in. Concentrate on your breathing. Long, slow inhalations and long, slow exhalations. Butterfly can be relaxing, but also very intense. So use your breath to keep you calm and present. Using your hands, push the floor away and slowly roll up. Extend your legs out in front, legs together, sitting up nice and tall. Bringing your left hand across over your right leg and your right fingertips on the floor behind you, lengthening through your spine and twisting over to the right. On your next exhale, coming back to centre and repeating on the other side. On your next exhale, coming back to centre. Come to lie down on your back, legs together and straight on the floor. Reaching the arms overhead and clasping your hands or your elbows. We want the buttocks firmly glued to the floor. Move your upper body over to the left. When you've gone as far as you can, move the legs over in the same direction. And you may find when the body opens more that you can cross the ankles or pull your upper body further over to the left. Be careful not to twist or roll your hips off the floor. Keep your buttocks and shoulders firmly glued to the mat. You will be receiving a gorgeous stretch to all the side body tissues and muscles, such as your IT band and intercostal muscles. If you start feeling any tingling in the hands, you can rest them on your forehead. And if you haven't already, as your body would have opened more, you might like to try moving your feet further to the left or try crossing the ankles. If your ankles were crossed, uncross them and bring your body back into a straight position. Repeating Bananasana on the other side. Moving your upper body over to the right, followed by your legs. And coming into the modification that you're comfortable with. In today's practice, we've been holding the postures for longer. It's given us the opportunity to work the deeper tissues of the body. And all our tissues need to be exercised so that they can achieve optimal health. Today we've been focusing on the quads, inner thighs, outer thighs and hamstrings. And as we age, this area can tighten up even more. By targeting these deep connected tissues, we can help to improve mobility and prevent injury. As Yin Yoga is a passive style of yoga, some may think it's quite simple, but holding the postures for 2 minutes today you'll be able to see that it can be quite challenging due to duration remaining these. We should always work within our range limits and abilities. So we're looking to find our edge, stretch to our maximum without overstretching. Uncrossing the ankles and releasing out of the posture. Moving your legs and your upper body back into a straight position and bringing your arms down to your sides. Hugging your knees into your chest. This will release the back into a gentle forward fold. Placing your hands on your kneecaps, begin to circle your knees in one direction. Reversing the circles as we continue to massage the lower back. Coming back into stillness. Extend your right leg along the mat, keeping the foot flexed. Keeping your left knee drawing in towards the chest and holding that knee with the opposite hand as you draw it across the body. Open your left arm out to the side in line with your shoulder and try and keep your shoulders pinned to the mat. We can gain a lovely rotation along the spine and torso in this reclined twist as it massages the back and hips. You should also be feeling a super stretch in the glutes. Coming out of the pose, slowly roll onto your back, hugging your left knee into your chest. Repeating on the other side, extend your left leg along the mat and drawing your right knee into your chest. Holding that knee with your opposite hand and drawing it across the body. Remember to try and keep your shoulders pinned to the floor and stretching your right arm out to the side about shoulder height. Allow your body to relax into the position No pushing or forcing. Just let gravity do the work. Slowly rolling onto your back, hugging your right knee into your chest for a few moments. And then hugging both knees into your chest. And it will feel really nice to rock side to side. Lovely gentle massage for the back. Coming back into stillness, releasing the legs and extending them along the mat. Feet about hip width apart and letting the feet fall out either side. Arms at your sides, slightly away from your torso, palms facing up and letting your fingers softly curl in. Finishing today's practice in the gorgeous posture called Shavasana. Tuck your shoulder blades into your back for support and make any final adjustments so you're completely comfortable. Closing your eyes, relaxing your whole body, including your face, and let your breathing occur naturally. Try not to skip this last posture. Resting in Shavasana helps to balance your nervous system, improving your general health and well-being. And it helps to integrate the work you've done in the class so you can solve the benefits before continuing with your day or evening. Going to slowly come out of Shavasana. Begin to deepen the breath. Wiggle the toes. Wiggle your fingers. Slowly reawakening our bodies. Stretching the arms overhead for a full body stretch from hands to feet. Bringing your arms back to your sides. bending your knees and rolling over onto one side and using your hands to push yourself up into a comfortable seat of your choice. Sitting up nice and tall, rest your hands on your knees. Finishing today's practice with a couple of cleansing breaths. Taking a lovely long inhale through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. And repeating once more. Bring your palms together in front of your heart space. Bring your thumbs up to your third eye and bowing forwards, whispering Namaste. Thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed today's practice, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for some more free yoga.